You know, I have to say, this has been a pretty solid weekend for movies overall. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure there was this superhero movie that came out as well. Um. Oh well, it's not important. Anyway, I've just gone to see The Gift tonight, which is about a psychic played by Kate Blanchett. Hang on, that's not the right movie. I would just like to say right off the bat here, if you're a filmmaker, try to be a little more creative with the title of your movie, especially if the other movie, which shares the same title, happens to be perfectly memorable. Anyway, with that out of the way, I've just gone to see a new film called The Gift, which is about this married couple named Simon and Robin who move into a new house when they come across this man named Gordo who Simon used to go to high school with, and they share a little bit of a history together, although you'll learn before long that it wasn't the most positive history. And essentially, Gordo is trying to be friends with these people. He's trying to be as nice to them as they can and kind of win them over, essentially. And Robin takes very kindly to him, whereas, Simon is being more disingenuous. He doesn't necessarily like the guy, but he's trying to act nice to him as best he can until eventually he finally confronts Gordo and just tells him to stop showing up. And it's at this point that the film takes a much darker turn, and Gordo turns out to be much more dangerous than previously suspected. Now, the performances in this film were great. Jason Bateman is the star of the movie as Simon. At least he's pretty much the biggest name in the picture. And whereas he usually plays the funny man in movies, and in many cases to pretty good results, here I was able to take him more seriously as a dramatic actor. You know, at the beginning of the film, he kind of seemed like an okay guy. Then, of course, he's an asshole to Gordo. And then as the film progresses more and more and you learn more about him, I actually found myself genuinely despising this character. And I cannot compliment Jason Bateman enough for this performance, which sent my blood boiling. And of course, Gordo is a very menacing character in his own right, but at the same time, I was able to feel some sympathy for him throughout most of the film, at least until the climax where I learned, just how low he's willing to sink. And really, the only character that you're able to root for here is Robin. She is the most likable character in the film, who is just caught between these two men who, at the beginning, she knows absolutely nothing about, and, by the end of the film, doesn't really want to have anything to do with either of them. And overall, I think it's a really solid thriller as well as a damn good character drama. There are just a couple of nitpicks that I have with the film. For one thing, it actually resorts to a false jump scare, which only happens once, but then soon after that, the film has one of those cliched moments where you think something bad is happening and then it turns out to be a nightmare. And honestly, with the story and the character arcs and everything, I thought that The Gift was a much better movie than that. But still, it is really good. It's a very suspenseful and upsetting movie. During the final act, my heart was racing, and despite those little nitpicks, it's still one of the best films that I've seen this year, and I would highly recommend it. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about The Gift. I hope y'all have a good one.